Hi, I'm John, and welcome back to Dice Paper Miniatures. Well, it wouldn't be Games Workshop without a little FOMO, and so here we are yet again. It always feels a little bit like Groundhog Day, if you know that reference, you know what I mean, when it comes to Games Workshop, because we get shown something really cool, like the new Book of the Outlands for the Ash Waste Necromunda, which we've been all waiting for, if you play Necromunda, for way too long, in my opinion. This should have been out the week after or the same week, as far as I'm concerned, of that new box set. But again, they get us very excited for these things, and then it's a bit of a rug pull, which is a bummer. But I wanted to talk about when it comes to their box games, you really just can't sit and wait and decide if you're going to go in on something or not. And that's basically the point of this video for today. So before I go any further, here's that intro. All right, so yeah, the thing with Necromunda especially is you just can never predict when stuff is going to go out of stock, whether it's temporarily or permanently. I think we were lulled into a little bit of a false sense of security recently with Necromunda because a lot of these things were not selling out day one, specifically the card packs. I know a lot of you don't even care about these things, but I also know there's a huge portion of you get really annoyed when you have to try to find them on eBay. And so just avoid all that. When you see these get released on pre-order, just buy it. Just buy one. Heck, even buy two, just in case. And buy two maybe from a different vendor. Buy one from like Games Workshop, buy one from like an online vendor. Worst case scenario, they both show up and you can flip one and get your money back or give one to a friend, right? It's a win-win in that scenario. The problem is if you just get one, and I've had this happen more often than I care to admit, whether it's from Games Workshop or from my local game store, it's about a 20 to 30% chance that you just won't get it. It's BS, but it is what it is. And it never fails. It's always the ones that sell out that just coincidentally don't show up. Kind of weird how that works out. But yeah, there was a little bit of a bait and switch because with the gang, specifically with the Orlok Gang Tactics card, initially when this went to preview, they had the newer Orlok pack. And I saw some funny comments. People were like, whoa, wait a minute. They switched the pack to the old pack. So that's going to really screw some people over because they really wanted the new pack. And this could cost people some money by buying the old pack instead of getting the new pack. It was kind of some weird logic. You can't go wrong getting the old pack, period. And here's why. Even if they did the bait and switch, which is bad, I don't know why the Warhammer community sometimes has the artwork of the wrong thing, and then at the 11th hour they switch it. It happens. That's why you got to pay attention to these things. But even if you got this old pack, this thing goes anywhere between 30 to 40 bucks on eBay. So it's a win. If you get this by mistake, one, you probably needed it because it was out of stock forever. So there's that. Two, so you get it. Wait a month, right? It'll be out of stock again and you can get more than your money back. And the money you make from that, you can buy the one you thought you were getting, which is definitely not as expensive as this one. In fact, I can go to my local game store, and I'm sure a number of you probably can do this too. The newer ones, a lot of those sat on the shelves for a long time. These, not so much. So, in my opinion, it's not a bad thing that this is one of the times where they goof something up and you get maybe an older version because there is value already built in on this pack. I know that's maybe a hot take for some people, but it's not a bad thing. Now, what is a bad thing, in my opinion, is how they priced and bundled the Cargo 8 Rich Hauler, their trailers, and I never in my wildest dreams thought that they would sell the gunner frame separately. Oh man, were there some people hot on Saturday in the game store when they saw this get presented as how you could buy these? I don't know. I expected them to split the trailer from the Ridge Hauler. I just didn't think the prices would land where they land. I expected you could buy a combo, both the hauler and the trailer, for like 110 to 120 bucks. I expected that to happen. Although I was hoping it for, obviously to be under $100. When I saw 95, I was like, awesome, that's great. And then I saw that it was separate, and I'm like, oh, that sucks because now it's 155. At least if you're in the US. I think 155 for both of those together, it's asking a lot, I think. Now you add on the fact that the gunner frames are separate. At the very least, those frames should be in the trailer. But from what I understand, let's just check to make sure. I don't think the frames are in the trailer. And that's BS. Just, it is what it is. But I do think these frames should come with the trailer. And then if you want more, maybe you're kit bashing or making your own vehicle, then I still think there's merit, there's value. I'm glad they offer them separately. I'm just surprised that that's the only way they come. And for $27, like this feels like what were like the Space Marine, like the heads and the shoulder pad sprues that you could buy separately. Those I think average like around like $16.50 or $18. I could see these being like 18, but 27? That seems unnecessarily pricey. I get it. Everyone's saying the same thing. Everything's ridiculously priced right now. And it's not going to probably ever change. I've done videos on that in the past for sure. So I don't want to like get too hung up on that, but it's great that it's all a la carte, but you kind of you have bundle deals with everything else. It seems like they could have done like a limited run where you got the hauler, the trailer, and an extra frame as a kit. That's a bummer. I don't know why they didn't do that. And maybe they did. Maybe that was an expectation in the past, but somewhere in the logistics of things, they just decided not to do that. I mean, I guess they sort of offered it as a kit called the Land Train, but that's just all those values added together. 95 and 27. What, that's 122 and 60? Yeah, 182. Those are almost insulting. It's a convenience thing, which is cool, but there's no value savings. I just feel like they did such a great job of hyping Necromunda, especially for the Ash Waste recently, and so many cool offerings, but they delayed the hell out of the Book of Outlands. And then I just don't get why they did what they did with the Land Train, or Ridge Hauler, the cab, and the gunner frames. Like and to make matters, probably the worst offender out of all of this is they reintroduced FOMO with, of all things, the Ironhead Prospect card pack. Again, that's one of those situations which is kind of why I'm making the video, when these card packs become available, just buy one. I recommend buying two, one from different vendors, just to cover your butt. Worst case scenario, they sell out, you flip it basically pay for the one you kept, or you give it to a friend and win points there. I mean, it's all good. Again, buy two, one from whether it's your local store or GW, and then buy one from like another vendor online, which will likely be cheaper all the way around, and you guarantee at least one. I got to the point where I was buying three, which is embarrassing to admit, but I was getting burned so bad. I was buying one from three different sources, and you'd be surprised. There were a few times, maybe only once or twice, where I got none. But then there were a couple times where I got all three. That did kind of suck. I can't believe I'm admitting that, but I like Necromunda, and I'm a completionist, so I like to have my card packs. But if you're just banking on, I'll get it from GW eventually, no, you won't. They're going to be gone. And just when you think they're not, they are. So we got lulled into a little bit of a false sense of security, I think, because the last few card packs didn't sell out right away, because apparently FOMO is back on the menu. Yeah. Crap. That's all I have for this one. What do you all think of this? Are you disappointed in this offering of the Land Train? Did you think it would be cheaper? Are you bummed it's being sold separately? Do you think these gunner frame prices are ridiculous? And were you able to get your squat card pack before it sold out? Because it's not temporarily unavailable. It's out. Yeah, I'd love to know what your thoughts on all of those are in the comments below. And as always, if you haven't yet and you enjoyed this content, please consider subscribing, hitting that notification bell, and sharing this content with your friends. It's greatly appreciated, and it really does help with the growth of the channel. And that's really all about that growth. All right. Well, as always, I hope you're doing well. Be safe. Take care. And I'll see you all again soon. Bye-bye.